No,
being something?
for the purposes of starting the stream, which, hello, welcome back to the Storytime Network, everyone. You don't.
Middle of the
I'm only gonna get one
know.
stream a week for the next few weeks. I'm gonna go full dictatorship on it.
I was gonna make a joke, but I don't know if it's too far, so I won't. Anyway.
I could resist. Sorry.
So, last we left this session with Seamus, the half-elf bard, Aldane, the half-elf paladin, Felix the Eladrin painter, and Dairon the Genasi rogue. The four of you were continued the rest of your one-on-one talks with certain NPCs. Sora had a second person talking to him. Honestly, that was probably the highlight of his week, is just having two people come to talk to him not about work.
I mean, technically I came to talk to him about work, he just refused to, do anything about it.
Yeah, because he's lazy. Also, he's so rich he could stop working at, the age he is and never have to worry. But yeah, Tora / a bit of Zaras had a talk with Dairon. Aldane had a talk with Oriana, and I'm blanking on who Seamus spoke to.
His
I spoke to
mentor.
Cammy.
Yes, you did. Well,
No, I didn't actually. I spoke to one of my contacts from Tenoyama,
Yes.
and
yes.
I don't know if I talked to anybody else.
So, yeah, you had that, and then you set off to Crossroads. Again, it was mostly just going over the plan, reaffirming what's going on, what's being done. You did, however, learn on the journey to Crossroads that the Bloodblade Orc camp has basically been, sacked. And according to Prodi, via a sending, they've basically been displaced from their home. When you arrived at Crossroads and sat at the war table, you saw Akra there, who, safe and sound, and thankfully so were the children he's looking after. You all also had a brief talk with Hayato as well. And yeah. When I say it like that, it doesn't sound like a lot happened, but it was mostly just because it was a lot of talking, and there's no point in saying exactly what happened beat for beat. Just watch the last stream if you don't know. Just put on a video game while you're listening to the stream if you care that badly.
Mm-hmm.
So, unless you guys have any last minute talking you want to do to each other, any pet talks, we can have things mosey on.
Sure.
So, you now joined with Drick. Well, not Drick personally, because he's actually staying behind to liaise. Because his class is actually a rogue. And unlike Dairon, Drick is absolutely not a frontline fighter. It's not that he can't be, but he's more of a planner than an attacker,
Mm-hmm.
So, you leave with Hayato, and of course Akra, who is travelling with the four of you plus Rua. As you're on your travels... Excuse me. Oof. All of you give me 2 perception checks.
Good old Percepcion.
My drink's repeating on me.
I think I see something.
Don't see shit at first.
You see more... Well, this is an average. It's not like first half, second half.
Yeah, I'm mostly being a dick.
Well, I have said before, Felix is not that... Felix doesn't really care about being perceptive because he just knows that Dairon and Seamus and Rhea will just do it for him.
Mhm.
So it's taking you about 9 days to get to the border of Blackrain. I should also open up Rua and Akura's character sheets, because Akura is also going to be chiming in. So this first set of rolls is Rua's. Okay. I mean, those are good rolls. It's just fucking nat 3 and a nat 5. And this
Fucking
next set
hell.
of rolls is Akura's.
Bruh.
Jesus Christ, that perception modifier.
Akura's meant to be scary. Like,
I mean, I get it. He's like a post-endgame character, but yeah.
Yeah, I do not come close to that.
Akura's passive perception's 28, and that's without feats. He's just that good. So, during the traveling, there's almost like a tension in the air. It probably doesn't help that, like, obviously, this is the first time any of you are really heading into a war zone. Even you, Felix, even though you were alive during the time when, like...
Oh
the
no,
war
I
against
never went anywhere
like,
near the front lines.
Yeah, you were nowhere near that shit, like, from what you've said, so... This
Well,
is
you're
very-
also probably a young lad at the time.
Like 20, weren't you? He would have been, because it was 8 decades ago.
20 is basically a baby by elf terms.
I mean, elves do mature at the same rate as humans, but they, like, stay. They aren't... Well, in official law, they're not culturally an adult until 100. This setting plays fast and loose with that. It's still a thing, but, like... Akura gave himself an adult name while he was still 18, because for him he experienced so much that calling himself a child felt, like, very reductive. And, like, that's the thing. Like, in some cases in the real world, some children go through more than some adults. But that's beside the point. But yeah, the thing is, though, like... I feel like Felix's parents wouldn't have let him go out in the front lines as well.
No, not at all.
Like, Felix is definitely quite privileged until he left home, which is nothing wrong with that. But, yeah. You do feel that tension in the air. It doesn't help, though, that as you're, like, as you get closer and closer to the border, you very much begin to see, like, the dark clouds overhead. Not only that, but for the 4 of you, your Dracolich pieces are resonating.
I do not like this pressure behind my eyes.
So, the way to describe it is it feels like anxiety without, like, the actual, like, wanting to avoid the cause of the anxiety. It just feels like you're tense. You're, especially for, like, you, Dairon, because you rolled really well, and for you, Seamus. For the 2 of you, it feels like you're just very on edge. Like, even the slightest, like, breaking of a twig makes the 2 of you at least quite jumpy. And even for you, Alde and Felix, like, it's one of those where it's hard to relax.
Mm-hmm.
Even without the fact that you're going into a war zone, you're having to save Kurogane, you're coming against the big bad, you're basically fighting an ancient black dragon. Even though you dealt with the one in the Forbidden Ice, that was not only heavily nerfed, but, like, it wasn't in its right state of mind. Because if that ancient white was fully ready, it would have been a completely different story. It would have been a massacre for you guys.
Oh, we would have been TPK for sure at our level at the time.
Whereas this is an ancient black dragon who is fully got all of its faculties in order, all of its abilities.
And we don't have the wild card of the Oni Bear to help us.
the Chad.
The goat.
The Oni go. But yeah, as you get closer and eventually get to the border, or at least as you're getting close to the border, how do I describe it? You hear a war horn from your party, because there's not only are there multiple carts, but there are people like on the outside walking. You would have been requested not to do any walking for the most part, because again, the idea is that they're punching through for you to get in. So it's for you guys to conserve your strength as best as possible.
Yep.
But you hear the noise, and the person actually manning the cart says, because you guys are near the front, but you do hear the cart rider say, "Looks like we've got company." And the cart begins to stop. As it comes to a slow stop. And at this point, I assume you get out the cart. And as you do, you see I was going to say loads, but that almost feels like an understatement. But you see almost countless Blackrain soldiers in the distance. You even see a few black dragons flying overhead. And as you're probably checking your equipment, probably saying something to yourselves to steal yourselves ready, doing whatever you need to do before this begins, you see Hayato walking over to you guys with a smile, surprisingly. It's a soft one, it's nothing too big. It doesn't help that he's a birdman, so it'd be hard for him to smile with his beak. But he just says, "Right then. In a few moments, the moment of truth will start." It is an honor to be fighting with you, Five. Because Izzy does look to Rua as well.
It'll
Good
be
luck.
just like old times.
Well, I have to liaise with my people briefly, and then we'll be getting started anytime. And that's if they don't try and strike first. As this happens, how do I describe it? There's again, it's that tension. You can almost feel it in the air at this point. You feel like any noise could just start the beginning of this conflict. It almost feels like Blackrain's sizing you up. No one's making any advancements. You don't even see a messenger or anything like that approaching. It's just quiet. The only thing accompanying you is the sound of the wind, the occasional chatter from your side, and every so often you'll hear a thunderclap in the distance on the Blackrain side. And eventually, you see a soldier from Cordis who looks to you all and just says to you, "I hope you're ready. We're going to be starting any moment." Are you ready?
As far as we'll ever be.
It won't matter. Doesn't matter.
We won't know until we start.
Yeah. He pauses for a moment. He reaches into his into a pocket inside his in his armor, and he pulls a locket out. You see him smile for a moment. He puts the locket away, looks at you all, gives you a nod and a smile, and then returns to his group. And let me see.
Really hope he's not 3 days away from retirement.
He was quite young. He was probably close to your age, Dairon.
I'm being silly. Don't mind getting the player.
I mean, well, it depends on what you want to call retirement. Retiring from the Life Club? Yes.
I mean, the death flags on that man.
So, let me find the song I want to use. This isn't it. Fuck. Is this the one? Here we go. Mill, here's some new music. So, as you get into your positions, as you get ready to march, well, I say march, you... Let me make a roll. I'll see who gets this sending. Ah, Dairon.
Yep.
You get a sending from Oryx. Do you share this with the group? I assume you do.
Yeah, I share it.
Do you want to tell them what was said? Because they don't know what's said.
Orc says, keep an eye on the skies. Blackrain's about to get washed. Gold. You can only imagine that.
I only imagine that means Oryx is about to do something funny. Oh,
I know, funny.
I really hope it's not. I really hope it's not a piss joke.
I didn't even think of that. Oh, that
Something
would have been
about
so
golden
funny.
showers.
Sadly, Oryx doesn't have tidal wave.
and he is a gold dragon, so golden showers would be kind of apt.
That's kind of why I was thinking about it.
Damn, you guys
God
are
damn
thinking like you thinking 2 steps ahead of me. I need to step up my game. I'm becoming a hack.
You said it, not me. I kid.
But yes, as you receive that, and you see like, how do I describe it? You actually give me all perception checks. Just one.
Hey, now natural 20.
Come on, Seamus,
Mil?
you can't let the side down.
Oh, Seamus, sorry.
I'm sorry, I have to.
My perception.
I'm not very perceptive right now, apparently.
You are at 15 with a nat 6. That's insane.
Not as good as Acura yet. I got a lot of room for improvement.
I never leave the
Acura
house.
is actually insane.
I mean, in more ways
Acura's
than one,
modifier
yeah.
is literally double what my modifier is.
Akra has 22 in Dex and Wisdom. This is something I want to use. Sure, I'll use it. So, here's the new music mill.
Already?
You all begin to hear flaps of wings. As overhead you see a gold dragon, huge in size, as he flies over to the border, and he lowers down enough where you begin to hear like people yell, "He's gonna crash!" And he doesn't. Instead, Oryx breathes fire onto the soldiers of Blackrain. You hear many, many screams. And at this point, you see the soldiers of Cordis and Tenoyama and Kolodnia Pol begin to charge.
Well, boys, Shall we?
Onward onto the breach.
Once more
So-
onto the breach.
What I'm going to do is, because I'm going to drag you back to the Otherworld map, the one that has the tokens.
Mhm.
I'm bringing up an initiative tracker. This is more for the sake of if you're doing stuff, then this is the order of what stuff is going to be done. Oh, 1 second.
Oh, I have
Why
to do
is it-
initiative. Initiativo.
I rolled a 10.
1 second.
Oh wow, we got some good initiatives.
And there's me.
I spoke too soon.
So Akra got a 22.22. I nearly did 2,222.
Somehow, I got nearly the lowest initiative, and I have the highest modifier.
So you begin to charge forward. You notice Akra and also Rua, because they are faster than you guys, are running like Akra's running in front of you guys, and Rua's slightly ahead of you guys, but like it's not a point where they're deliberately like racing ahead of you. You see on griffins several archers and mages shooting bolts, throwing spells down. You see fireballs, you see bomb arrows even. You see just arrows intercepting casters, or because you in the distance you do actually see trebuchets and stuff like, you know, siege like war equipment. And a lot of the casters and the people on the griffins at least are like intercepting those first. In fact, you actually see Jade racing like ahead of you guys, as she's on like a horse, like a war horse.
Mhm.
Can I be
As
on my
she's
greater
like-
steed?
As she's like wielding a massive great axe and just chopping through enemies. And, you know, it gets to the point though where, you know, when that's not happening, you also see Oryx overhead coming back down and breathing fire. He's drawing a lot of the attention, and you actually see because from what you can count with the enemy dragons, there's probably like 12 adult black dragons, and about 8 of them are on Oryx. The other 4 are busy doing other stuff, like the other enemy dragons.
Mhm.
And as you see this, you notice that there's a large group of soldiers getting in the way of your direct path. You could try to move around them, but that might be them funneling you in and trying to box you in. So,
Fuck it, wedge formation, let's go.
Felix, what do you do? Because it's your turn first.
Mhm. So, where on the map exactly are we?
So, I'll draw on the map, and then like redraw where you would be. So you basically like probably a little bit past the border. Let me move this actually.
Okay.
Probably like there on the map.
So, we've still got a fair ways to go.
Yeah.
Kind of how war works. Not very often you'll be able to go right to the capital, no issues.
If you go in a straight line to the capital, that's still like several, you know, it's still over 100 miles. In fact, that'd be about 4 to 5 days.
Point is, I need to know, you know, how much to ration ink slots in particular.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, and I need to ration all my shit that has long recharge times.
I'm gonna presume there is a group of enemy soldiers without, you know, any of ours particularly near them, within 150 feet of me.
That's a very fair assumption to make.
Yeah, I'm just gonna find one of those pockets and drop a vitriolic sphere on them.
There's basically one right in front of you guys.
Yeah, so...
So yeah, roll your vitriolic sphere. That's a good damage.
That's good damage
Really
on the
good,
initial
actually.
damage, horrible on the secondary damage, but fine.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
So that's... Okay, dex save. So... They all fail. And they all die.
Great.
You basically take out an entire amount of vitriolic spheres worth of people in one hit.
Cool.
And I'm going to say that's your turn.
Yep, no, that's fair.
I'm going to assume things like aim. Well, aim would require Diron to stop moving, which isn't safe.
Which I'm not going to do.
Yeah. So it's Akra's turn. On his turn, he will... What will he do? He has a lot, really. So what he does is, he's just going to drop a cone of cold. He basically moves so fast ahead of a group of enemies that he's just be able to get up close to point blank hit like the one that's right in front of him, and then catch a bunch of soldiers before they can move. 29 cold damage. Let me just check something briefly. That is... Okay, that many key points. I always forget. And how are they doing for con saves? And they all fail. So you see more soldiers die. About a 60-foot cone's worth. And that'll basically be his turn. As at this point, with the amount of people that Akra and Felix have killed, you're safe on anyone trying to immediately stop your path for this round.
Cool.
Awesome.
So
I'm gonna assume, Kaido,
let me finish first, and then you can.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So you could decide to spend your action to dash, which will get you obviously further ahead. Otherwise, you could do stuff like just chipping away or hitting enemies like around the area to just like help allies.
So, what I wanted to say to interrupt you is I don't think I need to dash because at the end of last session didn't I summon the Greater Steed?
You did.
So I'm on the Greater Steed.
What exactly Great Steed do you have?
It was the I gotta look it up
Is
on
it a
5e again. Yeah, the Periton I think is what we decided on.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, but what I am going to do here is more as a deterrent, and also because they'd be no better than cannon fodder in the last battle, I'm going to summon my Golden Lions.
Okay. So... Okay. So you put your Golden Lions down. Do you just have them, like, attack anyone that, like, might get in your path?
Yeah, attack anyone who gets close, just act as a deterrent to people coming up to us. It's just kind of running a little interference.
Give me
Should I pull up their sheets and give you it from there?
yeah, do you wanna just act as if like the lions are actually doing stuff on their turn?
Uh-huh.
I'm just gonna say they do stuff on your like turn. Your
Okay, so I don't have to roll a separate initiative for them.
yeah.
Okay, sounds good. They'll be
I'm-
like our first line of defense. They're kind of just gonna flank us on either side in
I'm-
case someone's trying to get
yeah.
us from.
I'm keeping a track of like a big table, so like it's all good.
Okay, yeah. Sorry to increase your workload
No.
there.
You're completely fine. I was accounting for the lines anyway, so don't worry.
Okay, good. Yeah, I figured this is the right setting for them because it's mostly we're dealing with lower level soldiers, and that's who they kind of specialize in fighting against.
Yeah. You can assume the more elite soldiers, if not in Rainwall, are probably on the island.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have the sheet open?
I do. I have the lions open right now.
Yeah, so if you just want to make the attacks like you would normally.
Yeah. Just like attacking basically random whoever.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just we'll go a couple of bite attacks here. So I'm assuming would that hit just whoever?
The 21 will definitely hit. That'll hit most of you in the party.
Yeah, I know an 18 would
And,
hit me.
Yeah, that hits as well.
Okay, there we go.
Good damage. So you managed to get a few soldiers that try to like get in your way. You do notice a few soldiers though between the vitriolic sphere and then like the cone of cold. There are some soldiers that would rather take their chances with people like Jade.
Oh, I'm sure.
That's fair.
Dairon, it's your turn.
Question. Just,
Yeah?
Is there any very clear leadership?
So, because again, I was also anticipating this. Give me a. This can be a bonus action perception check. The DC will be a bit tricky only because, and you passed it, because there's so much chaos going on. You
Sorry.
see a soldier like a few paces ahead of you. That seems to be like, he not only does he seem to be in better armor than most of the other soldiers around him, he also has a clear air of authority. And he hasn't noticed you.
Can I signal to Alday and be like, hey,
I mean, I was going to say, if you wanted to, if you chose to attack him,
oh, I'm going
may-
to.
you may or may not get your normal damage you would normally get anyway when you hit most enemies.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and just throw a crossbow bolt at him.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not close enough to get in melee.
No.
Okay, so a crossbow it is. Does it hit? Does that hit?
Hits. Oh, I was really confused. It felt like the damage was much lower than it should be. Yeah, you actually killed the guy.
Oh, great, excellent.
The moment that happens, several soldiers begin to part, almost like the Red Sea, basically freeing you guys up to like continue pushing onward without much delay.
Sorry, I'm just imagining the visual of you like spotting the leader, indicating them to Aldane, then shooting them and killing them as if it's just like, hey, look what I can do!
I was gonna say, I imagine Aldane being like, weird flex, but okay.
Why'd you
Sorry,
point it
I have
out to me? I can't reach him from here.
I have to step away for a few minutes. If I'm not back by my turn, just you do whatever with me, Kaido.
No problem. Okay, now that Jack's gone, this is how we kill Aldane.
So I do a backflip onto Alday.
So now that it's Rua's turn, What will Rua do? Because Rua has a few things he can do. He will. 1 second. There we go. Rua really wants to save his mechanical arms.
Yeah, I don't blame that.
So instead, he's just going to draw his Moonblade. And because he's faster than, like, most people, he's almost twice as fast as your guys' walking speed.
Mm-hmm.
He will rush in, and he's just going to start, like, attacking people who are directly in front of him who aren't moving out of the way. So he's going to two-handed Moonblade someone. Wow. Holy shit.
I imagine he just starts swinging wildly, but there's actually nobody within range, and they're all just looking just like, what?
I want to
They're moving.
imagine that he tries to go for a swing, and because the floor around the area is muddy because it's Blackrain, he nearly trips. So he'll go again.
That's better.
The duality of man.
Wow, that shit though. He still kills him. He basically brings his sword, like, in two hands and just cuts a man in half. He basically,
Sorry, Kata,
like...
real quick, out of character, you mentioned that, like, because of the Nat 1, Rua slipped. Someone literally, like, right as you were saying that, on the football field, just straight up slipped and face planted.
Fine.
Ruin another life. So I like to imagine he just, like, future trunks with Frieza, cuts this guy in half. And the moment he does that, I'm going to let him do an intimidation check with advantage. He needed that advantage. And several more soldiers just fucking run away. Aldane, let me pull up his character sheet. Because he doesn't have movement options or, like, range like the rest of the party does. I'm just going to say he does a few tosses of his Spear of Returning, because it's his only ranged option that he has. So that hits for 5 damage, because it's not... Because dueling only affects melee. And then he throws it again. And that's, wow, very low damage. He only chips a guy in damage anyway, at least. Can't complain, I guess. Felix. You can basically afford not to need to drop a big AoE.
Right, okay.
Just because of the amount of enemies that are, like, parting. Like, people... The thing is, I guess since it's easy to think now that you've done your training, just to show how much powerful you are compared to most of these people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think of, like, when Gohan came out the time chamber, I was wondering why Goku was fighting so weak against Cell.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, have we always been this strong?
Are there any soldiers that are coming towards us?
Some are. Some are trying to get to you, but they're not like... It's not like a game of chicken where one of you will have to move out of the way. They're coming from, like, the sides.
Right. Nah, probably not worth it. I guess I'll just chuck a firebolt at like the leading guy in one of these groups.
Roll damage, or roll an attack anyway. We don't know if it'll hit. That doesn't hit, I'm afraid.
Alright.
Akra, seeing the person you were shooting at, he just like makes an about face and goes to attack that guy. With a 13 on damage, he attacks the guy again, kills him. So he basically like punches the guy in the gut, and you watch as his chest explodes. You take a quick glance. He basically made the guy's lungs explode. Then Akra goes to attack another person who could get in your way. 12 damage. 16 will also still hit. And Akra kills another person. And then he's going to do a unarmed strike with a bonus action. And misses, actually. Seamus, it's your turn. I will say, you can have the lines attack and still do stuff like Eldritch Blast or Shatter or an actual action from you.
Do we still have those guys coming from the side? Or do they back off at this point?
I mean, so there's just people coming in. It's not like...
Oh, it's just kind of like they're just...
There's just occasional people... Yeah, there's people just coming in who think they can, like, achieve glory by stopping one of you guys. You know, foolish nonsense like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna just
Silly
blast him.
dreams. Tricks are for kids.
I'm gonna blast him. I'm guessing hit.
1 second. I've had to refresh my page because Roll20's doing that glitch where if you hover over the dice for a roll, the thing doesn't go away.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't in the way of anything, but it was pissing me off.
Mm.
So
I know what you mean.
yeah, that hits. Why is it so low? You have Agonizing Blast.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
It's just 1d10 for me, though.
Well, will it be a D10 plus Dex modifier? Let me check your thing.
Charisma?
yeah, charisma modifier.
Yeah, charisma modifier. Sorry.
So I
Let's
should
add
be
that
doing
in.
more damage. Has this been a problem the whole time? Is this why I've
No.
been getting shit rolls?
No. This is only a new thing you've got. But yeah, if you want to roll again, though, it should work now. Yeah. But yeah, so
Okay,
it'd be a 3 plus 4, so 7 damage.
Alright, cool.
You can make another attack roll to hit someone with Eldritch Blast, because you do have more than one. Yeah. Thank God for that, because otherwise that would have just been 2 damage.
Yep.
And then you have your lines as well, to like pick off the person you've just chipped down. Yep.
18 hits. 6 piercing.
He's dead.
Alright, and I still got one more, so let's just bite someone else.
Yep.
Cool.
Um,
And that's it.
Dairon. There's nothing stopping you from necessarily just picking people off who are like coming at you, because there's always going to be someone like that for you guys to be coming up against. During this sequence, anyway.
Mm. Again?
Again, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I didn't hear you. Sorry.
Right. What did you not hear?
That it was my turn until just now.
Yeah, it's your turn.
I'm gonna. Is there anyone coming who's gonna like maybe get a weird? It's like who's not seen by Aldane or Rua.
Give me a bonus action for perception. Because of the chaos, you'll need to actively use perception. Passive perception won't help you. Yeah, you do see someone actually by Felix.
Oh no, you don't. I run over with the rape with isolation.
Mm-hmm. "15 hits. You killed the person.
You okay, Felix? Cool. Great.
Felix is disassociating. So that's your turn. Rua will swing his Moonblade and misses. Hits and does a good chunk of damage and will unarmed strike that person and misses. Aldane can throw his spear ahead because it's too far for Aldane to reach. Because again, Rua's ahead of you guys. Hits. And he kills that person. And then he'll just throw a spear at another person and chip them. 8 damage is good. So at this point,
Alright, I'm back.
So Mill, if you can cut the music, as you're running like non-stop, it gets to a point where you see 2 adult dragons basically flanking you. One coming from behind and one directly in front of you. And here's some new music.
Like that's us.
As the dragons cause you to stop in your tracks, you begin to see soldiers from Blackrain, like coming around as well, basically creating a circle around you. In the distance, you hear from Hayato say, "Someone help them!" And yeah, it looks like things are getting quite dicey, unfortunately. And as you're having to like bunch together, Akira tells you, "You guys, I'll cut a hole through. I'll cut a path. Go on without me."
Yes, sir.
And as Akira's getting ready to do that, you begin to hear a horn, like a war horn. Only it's not coming from the front towards Blackrain, it's coming from behind.
I think those are our reinforcements.
And yeah, as everyone, you guys and your enemies look to the distance. Let me find the right music I want to use. Is it this one? No, which one is it? Sorry about this.
That's all right.
Here we go. Here's the new music. You look behind you guys, as in the distance, you see nothing but green. And it's not foliage. And you hear a familiar voice leading the charge. We Bloodblades stand together, having to deal with Blackrain thinking they can end us. But let's show them and the rest of the world that we are not to be messed with. And as this orc leads the charge, because it's orcs, you see the person at the front is riding a familiar warbeast.
Oh my god.
I love this so much.
Bearing in mind, the last time you saw it, it was like a small dog, but it's fully grown.
Was
into
it?
like huge. Like this creature's big. It's like as big as a lion now.
Oh my god, it's become a direwolf.
And as these orcs are cutting a swath through the Blackrain soldiers and helping your side, you watch as Oryx, using the moment to basically like just of the distraction, grabs the black dragon from behind you and carries it away. And you just hear it cry out, wait, no, 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 no!
I'm imagining it's that scene in Futurama where Bender and another robot are fighting, and then somebody like grabs the attention of the crowd, and as everyone turns, Bender just punches the other robot in the stomach and makes it fall over.
And you see Brody leading the charge. Sorry we couldn't come sooner.
You're late, I can say with a smile.
Fashionably, at least.
Of course.
You go on ahead. We'll deal with these.
You heard the man,
And-
let's go.
At this point, you basically run through. You actually run past the dragon as the dragon gets immediately swarmed by several orcs. And you see following the orcs is a T-Rex.
I love this so much.
And atop the T-Rex, do you remember that old druid lady?
Yes. Yes.
She's riding on it with a saddle. As you basically watch as a black dragon and T-Rex are fighting each other. And
Kaiju battle!
with your forces reinvigorated and reinforced, you're able to push on forward.
How are we doing before that? In terms of the tide of the battle?
So you were doing very well, actually. You were getting through them very well. If it wasn't for Rua fucking flubbing half of his attack rolls, it would have been even better. But there was always dragons that weren't being dealt with by Oryx, so you could say this is scripted. Who cares though? It's cool, you know. And yeah, as you push through and rush ahead, you're seeing soldiers fall as you're cutting through. You're doing your damnedest to get through as much as possible. Akra especially is going out of his way to do what he can to make things easy as possible for you guys. He's dropping fireballs, he's doing all sorts he can. And eventually, after you lose track of time of how much you're having to get through these people. And it doesn't help that eventually a lot of the soldiers are actually ignoring you guys. And they're basically just letting you run past. And eventually you come out the other side. And as you look behind yourselves and see your allies fighting the Blackrain forces, you continue on. After more running and running and running, I want you all to give me con saves.
Oh boy.
This is Rua's. He is struggling. Akra did well. Also, Aldane's bonus for his charisma gives you the aura. Don't forget. So you all have a +4 to these rolls.
Oh yeah, this one for some reason didn't include my bonus.
Because,
so I got
because
13.
you rolled Constitution, not Constitution save.
Yeah.
Ah.
Because you have a +7 to this, not a +3. So only Rua fails. Maybe it's just because he's like, clearly distracted with saving Kuro, but he's almost like burning himself out already. And you watch as like Akra puts him over his shoulder and helps carry him along. Not like fireman's carry, but just helping anyway.
Yeah.
And eventually you get to the point where you find amidst all of the heavy rainfall, you see some trees in the distance that you can stay under for a bit. As you all get a breather, because that's what this con save was for, because it's basically you just doing non-stop running.
Mm-hmm.
You all take a moment to catch a breather.
Seamus, do you think you could give Rua a lift on that weird, what is it, bird thing?
Animal.
I'm fine. I'll be okay. I just need a moment.
Pace ourselves. Remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint.
I know.
For being a marathon, we've been doing a lot of sprinting.
It's not bad.
Metaphorically, a marathon.
As you're sort of talking, in the distance you still hear the sound of clashing and fighting. You see Oryx in the air, every so often coming down to breathe fire. And Akra just says to you guys, we need to keep going, we can't afford to stay here right now. If we come up against more enemies like this, though, we'll have to be careful. And as you take probably a few minutes of a breather,
They'll know we've made it past Evernote. They'll know we've. Sorry. They'll know
No,
we've
go ahead.
made it past enemy lines. You have to be extra careful. They're going to be looking for us.
so after a few minutes of a breather, you continue along. At this point, you don't see any enemies, so it's not like you need to go into a full sprint.
Hmm.
But it's still, I assume you're at least jogging or race walking. Because the terrain as well, with it being muddy, it's one of them where you could just slip if you're not careful.
Hmm.
And as you continue, how do I describe it? Eventually, it gets to a point where I'm going to ask you for surviving as you take a rest, as you actually need to sleep. This is Akra's roll. Fucking 30 on the other side. This one is Rua's check. Rua did really well, nice.
Survival, is it?
Yes. It's to find the optimal space to make camp. So Dyron and Rua find a clearing up ahead near one of the rivers, and it looks like a good spot. If Seamus, do you still have Tiny Hut?
Of course I do. You want me to cast it?
Yeah, you'd be able to drop Tiny Hut down and be able to have a long rest.
Let's do it.
So as you drop the spell and activate it, you are able to have a rest. If any spell slots were used, any resources, you've gained them back. That's mostly more for Akra's sake, because he was he used a lot of his ki.
Mm.
We're doing a long or a short rest?
Long
Long.
rest. When you all awaken, you eventually look back, and you don't see any of the remains of that fighting. It looks like the skirmish has ended. From what you remember, a lot of it was not wiping out the forces, but like getting you through so then they can all pull back.
Mm.
As you all awaken, Akira says to you, or at least when everyone's awake, because, Felix and Rue and Akira can trance. Akira tells you all, Oryx gave me a sending. Our forces have pulled back. Miraculously, no casualties.
I don't think that's a miracle. I think that's a play.
Any victory we can get is one that we should cherish. And if it means no one has died, well, I'm happy with that.
Fair enough.
From what he said, though, scouts have also investigated, and there are forces in Rainwall. For now, though, we need to continue. So when you're all ready, we can leave.
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Let's go.
As you continue along, on foot, all of you give me 2 perception checks. These 2 are Akira's.
You're kind of bad.
These next 2, of course, are Rua's. Both Rua and Akira are locked in.
It doesn't hurt that they have massive fuck-off modifiers.
True. So, as you continue along, it's eerie. It's very eerily quiet, this journey. There's just no one, in your way. You don't even really see any wildlife. And,
No. I just say out loud, I don't like this.
Yeah. Akira replies to you, this is worrisome.
It's quiet. Far too quiet.
I don't sense anyone nearby, so we aren't going to be ambushed. I'm extremely confident in that. But it's
There's no chance that our mutual enemy here has figured a way to block your senses.
I'll be honest, if they block my senses, we're fucked.
Okay.
All we can do is hope for the best and prepare for the worst. But I am confident when I say that nothing is around us, which is honestly the worst part. That either means the wildlife knows something's going on and they've fled, or the worst thing is, the wildlife have been killed on the way here. I wouldn't be surprised.
Scorched earth tactics.
Some dragons are willing to just ruin the land they rule, even if they win, because at least their enemies had gone. Not only that, but if Eben did win, him being able to pull off something like that would only reinforce his almighty power. But Eben's not going to win.
What's the over-under on necromantic ability here?
I mean, Dracolich involved. He has a piece as well, right? None of us know what the piece does.
It wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility that this is I've killed everyone to raise it back.
Could be. But I also don't sense, I don't see any disturbances in the ground. There's no buried. And even if they were rising from the ground, I'd notice the disturbances in the earth.
Sorry,
I'm not sensing any. You're fine. There's nothing wrong with being cautious. We're in the belly of the beast, proverbially. Proverbially. Like I said, though, I'm confident nothing's going to attack us, but that, again, has me worried.
While
Because
me and while me and Akira are having this conversation, can I just also like side eye Rua?
you can roll an insight if you guys want.
I want to see if he's running himself a bit ragged.
He is, but he's after having that break, he's pacing himself better.
Okay. I look at Akira, look at Rua, and then back at Akira, and don't say it, but I say it. I say what I'm thinking. Is that possible for me to do?
Akira gets what you mean. If
Okay.
he rolled low, he would not have understood what you were getting
Cool.
at.
Cool.
He just nods.
I'm not trying to say it to shame Rua, but more just we know what he gets like.
He mouths to you.
behind.
He basically mouths to you. I know. I understand.
Okay.
And so, as you continue your journey, eventually it gets to the point where the rain is getting even heavier. Hours are becoming days at this point as you're finding places to rest at. You're getting to the point where, the rain's getting heavier. In some cases, if the day's particularly bad, because again, this is a few days of walking, you're even having to raise your voice to hear each other over the sounds of the rainfall and the thunder. But eventually, and I'm going to move you to where you should be. I say should as if I'm not the GM. You get to about here, and you see Rainwall in the distance. As you have the big mountain by your side. And at this point, as you're walking, you see a single figure approaching you. You've seen this
you're approaching me.
You've seen this person before. Her build is thin and lithe. You've seen the cloak she wears. It's Layla. She raises her head enough that you can see her, and she, well, it's good to see you all again. I hope you all have been doing well.
Not surprised to see you.
I wanted to intercept you here, and she actually points to the mountains. There's actually a secret underground tunnel that will get you right into Rainwall from here.
I'm gonna do an insight check.
Yeah.
Because
If anyone wants to roll insight, because Rua is.
I'm also rolling insight.
the two Everay family members crit on the other side. That's funny. As you all insight her, she's not lying, and you don't. Well, everyone that isn't Seamus doesn't sense any ill intent. Seamus, you're unsure.
Because I'm stupid.
To be fair, I imagine you're all varying degrees of mentally drained.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you
Well-
don't sense any ill intent.
It's not that we don't trust you, but
I came from that tunnel.
Okay.
Worst case scenario, and I did check even way before Drake came here. There's no charges, there's no magical runes or anything like that. This was made in case the city fell, way before even Well, before even the war against humans, according to my sources.
Well, I am worried about Emmett. I am also considering testing the threat. Is that a fair assessment?
He's at Rainwall.
And you're
Once
sure
you
you're
get-
not... Just to be on the safe side, I'm asking just because I'm paranoid. Read my file. Are you sure you're not under any kind of mental control anymore?
The only mental control that any of us would have had would have been indoctrination. And since the way he treated my sisters was... Because of the way he treated my sisters, I have no reason to side with him.
Okay.
The only thing I wish is I could be there to drive the knife through every part of his body. He would be more knife wound than dragon if I had a choice.
Any reason you're choosing to not join the fight?
Because I need to take my sister away. I hope you can
Are you in
understand.
contact with our sides?
Nope.
Do we have a sending stone that's linked to Guy?
Yes.
I pulled it out to her.
Oh, I didn't realize we were that close. She gives you a wink.
It's connected to someone on our side. Get in contact with them. We've already had discussions.
Understood. And she, in exchange, hands you... Let me check the item exactly. If my stuff would load? Yes, no? Please?
I hope I didn't overact for that one.
You're fine. If it would... Come on. Here we go. So... Here we are. Is this the one? No. Sorry, I'm just trying to find the thing that she's giving you. I don't know how I lost it.
Okay.
Is this it? Please say it is. Here we go. She hands you a gem. Inside this gem...
How'd you say we weren't that close?
Well, this gem, when crushed, will give you all resistance to acid which is the breath that Eben primarily uses, if you didn't know. Also, you, and she points at you, Felix.
Yes?
You use magical ink, right?
Yes?
When you go into the bunker, you should find a couple of cases of magical ink.
Oh, thank you.
It's fine. Thank me when you kill him.
It doesn't draw us safe.
Anywhere that isn't Blackrain will be safer than here. And she actually leads you to the bunker, to the underground tunnel, and you see Anemone, the red-haired elf girl, and she, like, sheepishly looks at you guys and just, like, keeps her head lowered. And Layla just says, "So come on then, enemy, we need to leave." And yeah, she basically just parts, not wanting to stick around any longer. And as she leaves you to the tunnel, we're going to call a small break for now.
Alright.
Okie doke.
What do you think of things so? What do you think of things so far?
Well, things are going smoothly. None of us really got hurt on our way to this point.
None of
I
you
don't
took any
trust it.
damage.
Yeah.
Sus.
You don't trust it? What? How can you not trust me?
You've done this to us before.
So, Jack, did you enjoy that One Piece chapter today?
I think Jack is God.
We've lost him, chat. Ugh.
Yeah, I'm back to having to figure out exactly what I should do now that I've got all these new spells that I can use.
True.
Like when I
Also-
was asking about the groups, I was thinking about maybe casting grease in front of them, but I was like, that might hinder our troops as well, so I probably shouldn't.
It's also
The war
raining,
crime.
so it's not very, like, helpful.
In hindsight, I should have cast sleep. That would have been funny.
So I'll tell you now. Actually, get 15 magic link bottles.
15.
Yes.
Holy shit. Okay.
Never let it be said that Layla doesn't want her dad dead.
I almost might think she might start to like us.
Okay, I'm gonna have to work out what that means.
She wasn't originally going to be such a prominent character in the draft, but I was like, she exists. I should make her more relevant. The Prody stuff, though, has been planned for a long, long time.
I'm guessing that's more like setup for the next arc, though.
Definitely. Yeah, my go, Prody.
Nice ride of the Rohirrim moment there.
Yeah, and he's the war beast is like grown, apparently. It's no longer just a Shih Tzu-sized Shih Tzu, it's like a fucking beast.
I'm gonna take a swing in the dark and say there was some magic involved there.
You'll find out next.
Also, I now have like 90 spare ink slots.
Lucky
Hell
you.
yeah.
That's nearly
You might need every drop of that ink.
I actually did a D20, and I originally I did a D20 to decide how many she was going to give you. Her original roll was 1, so I was like, I'm going to mulligan this.
But what if it was 2?
I'd have cackled and mulliganed it again. Or if that had have happened, I would have fucking, what do you call it? I'd have done like whatever the roll is plus like 3.
Yeah.
So at minimum, Felix would have gotten like 4 balls of ink. Also, here's a Jujutsu Kaisen meme. I'm posting it in the Rabbit server.
Excuse you, good sir.
So, Jack, how do you enjoy that One Piece chapter?
Oh, just fucking insane. Like, goddamn.
Why did I have a feeling that that Garland guy was going to be a big deal, and then now he's an even bigger deal than I even thought he was going to be?
Yep. I mean, I can't believe Oda just murked a character who had been built up for 20 years.
Well, I think part of that was power scaling Emu. Or maybe it's giving us a hint as to what Emu's powers are. Maybe the only reason all the Gorosei were able to take those like demonic forms was through Emu's power. And the only reason they're alive might be through Emu's power.
That is entirely possible. And we did get
so like maybe it's set up for that, or maybe it's just...
years.
Yeah, maybe it's also just power scaling how strong Emu actually is. And we saw how strong the Joy Boy Hockey Blast was. We got to assume Emu's about at that level.
We will get more information as the series goes on, I'm sure. I get the sense that Elbath is going to at least partially focus on training up the rest of the Straw Hats.
Oh yeah, I'm expecting hockey upgrades for those that know hockey. Maybe starting to learn hockey for some of the other ones, or like... I mean, a lot of people are theorizing that like Usopp is going to get a major power buff in one way or another, whether it's like a devil fruit or he'll unlock hockey or something.
I mean, he already has unlocked observation, he just doesn't know how to use it yet. But
yeah.
Elbath is absolutely going to be a new star.
Yeah, it's going to be an awesome arc, I bet. I just... Some people are theorizing that like Shanks is going to be at Elbath, but like I feel like the story said that he was leaving. Yeah, he left Elbath. But there is someone at Elbath waiting. I wonder who that silhouette is.
It'll be Kid. It'll be Kid.
Man.
He's still alive.
No, he's hanging out with the Going Mary.
Oh God!
Damn it, again.
Who knew a boat could make me cry this much?
Yep. But yeah, no. What was I gonna say? Just imagine Robin with armament hockey and how devastating she would be.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's insane to me how awesome Robin is, and she still hasn't really like used hockey at all.
Yep. I mean, part of the reason for that is probably because Oda realized how broken she would be with hockey.
Oh yeah, but they might need her to be that broken. Like they only have the monster trio on the Straw Hat crew. It's gonna become like all the Straw Hats are monsters, I think, after Elbath.
Well, it's more like Monster Quartet at this point with Jinbei there.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless you want to kick Sanji out.
I mean, Sanji doesn't have conquerors.
I'll be right
Usopp
back.
might have conquerors, but Sanji doesn't.
The thing is, Sanji doesn't have the ambition requisite for a Conqueror's hockey.
That's true. And if they kind of give him Conqueror's hockey, they better have like some major thing for him, like character-wise, change, or like it's just gonna feel like a cop-out just to give him a power-up.
The thing is, Zoro and Luffy are the only ones who have dreams that would really make sense for Conqueror's Haki to factor in to their power
I
sets.
think Usopp and Jinbei could also make an argument for Conqueror's Haki. Jinbei not so much, but Usopp has his own
Maybe
kind of
Usopp.
ambition.
I mean, sometimes Usopp's lies do come true, and he did lie about having Conqueror's Haki on Wano, so...
Exactly. That's the main fan theory, but like I think even outside of that, like Usopp dreamed to become a brave warrior of the sea. I mean, it might not seem ambitious to someone who wants to be the pirate king or the greatest swordsman in the world, but like for Usopp, that's a massive ambition because of where he started. So maybe that could manifest in Conqueror's Haki in some way. I don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah, let's go Conqueror's Haki. Sorry, I was just rolling with your accidental fumble of the tongue.
I mean, good old cock is not necessarily a prerequisite for being,
Powerful.
powerful, yeah.
Mihawk doesn't have Conqueror's Haki, and he's still, like, ludicrously powerful.
That he doesn't is very funny to me.
I mean,
Yeah, and it goes to show that you don't need
Conqueror's
Conqueror's Haki to really become a super powerful Haki user, which I think could be a good little plot point.
I mean, up until the Egghead arc, everyone thought that Garp didn't have Conqueror's Haki. And then he dropped a fucking nuke on
Blackbeard.
Harry Island. Yeah, that was... Dude, watch the clip of that animated, because that is absolutely... Totally went off with that shit. Holy shit. Like, it's only a panel in the manga, and Toten did about 2 full minutes of animation of that, and it looks insane. But yeah, that's crazy, though. A lot of developments in this chapter, and shit's gonna keep hitting the fan moving forward. I do think this is basically like this is part of the wrap-up of Egghead. I think we're gonna get a couple more chapters of this, and then we're going to move on to Elbaf.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Oh yeah, I was doing stuff to calm my nerves earlier this week. I decided to watch a video essay on the whole Kendrick Drake beef because, I needed something to calm the nerves. It was really fun.
I know, I sat for a 3-hour video of Darkside Phil.
Yeah, the video I watched was also 3.5 hours long.
God.
It's a good video, though. It does go into a lot of the detail, like the context that led up to it, which helps a lot. Yeah, no, it's a really good video. I would definitely recommend checking it out, because it goes into depth. But it does give me a bit of a deeper appreciation for what actually happened with that whole beef.
Yeah, of course.
Also, Jack, you said Galaxy Impact was one panel. That one panel, to be fair, was like a page and a half.
True, it was a double spread. Hey, I'm not going to complain about the embellishments the NBA team does.
No,
They
and
are very entertaining.
I think they can work really well. Like when fucking Black Clover turned a half a chapter fight into an entire episode of Sakuga.
Yeah, no, exactly. When they want to expand on something and they do that, I ain't gonna complain about that. It's when they drag out a scene with pointless filler that I get annoyed.
Yeah.
The Galaxy Impact, that one, that was a filler. It was fire. I mean, I'm also sure that you enjoyed the embellishments that they added for Beppo versus the Blackbeard Pirates.
I probably would, yeah.
Have you not seen that clip yet?
No.
Oh, it's very good.
It's very good. I think I posted a video link in one of the channels.
You very possibly did, yeah.
I did. About 3 weeks ago.
Hmm.
I did at you. Yeah, it's a very good clip.
I might have been at work.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Regardless. Who waiting on?
Me, because I'm finding music.
Ah, okay.
We're changing.
Oh
the
my
music
god,
slowly.
Subway's trying to stroke its own cock about giving footlongs for $7. Oh, I still remember when it was the $5 footlong.
I remember the fucking jingle they had.
I'm just
Yeah.
not a fan of cakes. Do you
What
know what I'm
cake
getting
is it?
at?
Ah,
Because basically, Subway bread is so sugary that in Ireland they're considered like cakes, I believe.
that's
That's
so
hilarious.
funny. I love the Irish. I'm not biased.
Hmm.
You're
Yeah,
biased.
it's basically a cake. Too much sugar in it to be considered bread.
Yeah, I think John Oliver did a whole ass segment on Subway,
He
complete with a commercial that he sponsored for like a K drama or something.
Also, there's some new music for when we're all ready to get started.
I'm ready.
Again, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Are we all ready to go?
Let me just
See,
Yep.
get the music
So-
going. Yep.
As you enter this tunnel, it's surprisingly well lit. You see torches all the way down.
Secret tunnel. Secret tunnel.
Aldane, maybe you should leave the singing to Seamus.
Yeah, I guess.
Secret tunnel.
As you do that,
Nope.
Seamus, you hear an echo down
Ah,
the tunnel.
Oh no, Seamus failed his performance check.
I have to do a performance check.
What's happened to
Whoa.
your mic?
Oh, I ate it. Sorry.
I was gonna say, like, fucking hell. It's like you decided to roleplay as a fucking Fallout audio log.
Please stop that.
It's really annoying to hear. Not annoying, but it's just uncomfortable. That's the
Mhm.
word. So,
It's also annoying.
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
I'm good at that.
So, as you continue, as you start to make your way down the tunnel, it goes on for a while. You actually can't even see the other end of the tunnel. It goes on that long. Actually, how far is it in universe? Nope. There we go. 45 miles in D&D would be a day. So yeah, it's an entire day and 7 hours to get there. The tunnel itself is actually wide enough for it's about 15 feet wide. So you can actually have three of you like stand next to each other. And it's also tall enough that some of the taller members of the party could try and reach your arm to touch the ceiling, and you barely don't touch it. Like, it is quite spacious.
Hmm.
So, Rua says as you're all walking, I wonder what we should expect then when we get to the capital. Other than, of course, Ebon, like Layla said.
I still think we're gonna expect to see a trap. I think Layla's intentions are genuine, but I don't think Evan's a fool enough to think that his children won't betray him. Moment.
Akra then interjects and says, honestly, from how you've described him, I wouldn't be shocked if he thinks that anyone betraying him doesn't factor into his plans.
Yeah, I
He
can.
does have that arrogance to him.
Honestly, I can see him expecting them to betray him. I just feel like he feels like that they're too incompetent to actually do anything to him. He does not seem to care very much about them.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, he just doesn't seem to really care enough about them to really care what they do.
I just don't think he cares about other people in general. So that tracks.
Ancient blacks are typically the most like awful, like vile of dragons.
So sociopaths.
Is it because he's black? Gosh, what a racist.
Shut up.
Hold on. I think I have the right response to that. There we go.
There we go.
That wasn't horny. I wasn't being horny.
No, she
The
was
phone
talking
Fuck the black
anyway.
dragon.
The bonk stick is all applicable for buffoonery.
It's applicable for all ages and audiences. But yeah, generally, given how cruel they are and sadistic they are, I'm just shocked she isn't already like. Honestly, if Evan was going to do anything, he'd have attached some sort of bomb to her without her knowing.
Oh, that's lovely.
Or
Should we
he'd
check her
have,
for a bomb?
or he would have probably cursed all of his children, so the moment they like left Blackrain, they would immediately die.
Yeah, but
Some
he
shit like
needs
that.
them to leave Blackrain.
What's
So
that?
he's
sorry?
just arrogant enough to believe that nothing they do could hinder him. Ever.
Well, as nice as that gem is that she gave us, that won't really matter considering that Eben will have other spells at his disposal. And that's if he didn't
Naturally.
even know of that gem's creation.
I'm also gonna say I was already resistant to acid, but the ink bottles were really nice. Appreciate that.
No, I wasn't
Maybe she
really
likes
fishing.
you.
I really wasn't fishing for anything. I just wanted to.
Yeah,
I
maybe
felt like
you'll
I
have
had to.
Maybe you'll have a girlfriend by the end of this, Felix.
Hey.
But
God, imagine. And then Akira says, imagine if Felix got a girlfriend before most of you guys. That would be embarrassing. Guys?
Tyron just doesn't know how to respond to that, so they're choosing not to. But there's also a level of like, Tyron isn't sure they made the right decision. Like, I think Dairon is in a real way just like really conflicted about this. Not in like a how I've royally fucked us, but more in a like I probably shouldn't have given her the sending stone.
Here's what it is. Can't be undone now.
No.
I mean, I can run back if you want. I could probably catch you with how fast I can move. Akira said.
Yeah, we don't need
Let's
that.
not do that.
I wasn't going to anyway. I'm just trying to lighten the mood.
Alright.
It's one of them. Obviously, it's easier said than done to try and lighten the mood. I mean, that's why I made my first joke. But I guess it didn't land. But yeah, like, you know, what happens will happen. All we can do is use the knowledge we have here and now to inform our decisions. You know, if something changes or something bad happens, there's nothing we can do.
Correct.
The best thing we can do is be adaptable and, you know, be ready to change anything on a moment's notice. The hardest part will honestly be leaving this fucking landmass and going to the island.
Evan's more likely to be at the Imperium.
He's not going to be in Rainwall.
No.
I've seen black dragons' lairs. This weather isn't the weather of a black dragon. And well, it is, but not like the center of a dragon's lair.
No, you expect more thunderbolts and lightning, I imagine.
Well, generally, water sources within a mile of the dragon are supernaturally fouled. So the fact that even the rain itself hasn't made us physically sick is already telling. Not only that, but like generally, creatures that spend a year within the dragon's lair are often filled with a despair that they can't get rid of. Bugs will often be writhing and aggressive, especially if you can smell the smell of rot. And stuff like, how would I describe it? You're always going to feel like you're watched for the most part. Once you've spent enough time in here anyway. It's probably why Eben has Testament, or whoever he puts in charge at the time, be the front of his rule. Because he'd rather have the actual Blackrain be, like, tended to in Rainwall. And the Imperium is probably where he keeps most of his closely guarded secrets. I can't imagine a single person in the Imperium being a civilian. And if they are, they're probably slaves, which would then mean they're hostages as well.
There's no good coming out of the Imperium.
Well, it will when we're done with it.
Yes.
By the time we're done, Blackrain will finally see sunlight.
You're goddamn right.
So, as you continue your journey, eventually it gets to the point where you have to make a rest, because it's a full day. And also, you don't know when you'll be fighting Testament. Because at this point, it's, do you really think you're going to avoid an encounter with him?
Probably not.
No. He's not to be too literal, but he's the dragon to Eben.
But
So,
Eben's the dragon.
I'm just gonna look at Felix and just...
I mean, Testament's a half-dragon.
So Testament is the
Akura
half
says-
dragon to Eben.
You want to get technical, yes.
I think Tyra's just gonna, pinch the bridge with her nose and go, live. Kill them.
Akura's smiling, to be fair. He's willingly joining in on Felix's bit. Yeah. I don't think I don't think Testament's going to be the kind of person who would let me hold him off and whoever he's got with just on my own. Even if I really locked in and tried my hardest. So instead, what I could do is I could secure as a boat to get to the Imperium while you guys fight him. Who knows? We'll play it by ear, though.
Honestly, at this point, we're operating on so many levels of what ifs and strategy that I can't count.
Yeah, let's just cross these bridges once we get to them. Or, burn them, whatever we gotta do.
But there aren't going to
It'd
be
be hard
any
to burn them
bridges.
in
That's
this
why Akru's getting a boat.
Going to
Felix
burn
gets
Felix.
it.
Hold on. I think I have the right response for this.
If it's... I was gonna say, it's another
Aldane,
fucking
ow.
bonk.
Yeah, Akura's like, ow, Aldane, no. doesn't do
The bunk sick does no physical damage. All the damage is to your dignity.
I thought you were going to say you dick. I was
Joke's
like,
on
what?
you, Felix has no dignity.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say dick. I was like, hey, yo. But, what do you call it? Yeah. As you sort of eventually rest, you all awaken. You get up, you get ready. As you make your way to the end of the tunnel, so throughout this tunnel, it's been like you've had to go down, like underground through the tunnel. But eventually you come up to some stairs, and what's basically like this spiral staircase. And when you open the door, it's basically like this stone door that gets slid across and opened. And you see basically this giant area within the city. And you see loads of soldiers. And you see a very familiar and pompous tiefling, clad in full Blackrain armor. He almost cuts an impressive figure if it wasn't for how smarmy he is.
Oi, bruv. No.
Torrent,
That would have been funny.
the traitor, the mole.
No.
This twist would fucking wicked in it, bruvs. No.
You
Yeah.
would say that.
Testament gives you all a very confident smile.
Oh, he sees us. Okay.
Yeah, you all walk into seeing him.
Okay, cool.
It's not that you can hide. So, it's a pleasure to see you all again. It's a shame it had to be under such circumstances. But I'll be fine though. I'll sleep tonight when I have your corpses paraded.
Can I
above
just shoot a
my
crossbow
home.
bolt at him?
Yeah, you can.
Yep, okay.
Not only do you do that, Rua shoots his gun at him.
We're just like, no.
Well,
Sorry, we're done with your bullshit.
Well,
Ruse-
I guess
Ruse
that
doesn't
concludes
commit.
negotiations.
Did you
but-
think we were
as-
ever going to be able to successfully negotiate with him?
As the
Felix?
shots get fired, a wall blocks both Darren's bull and Rua's gun. Like a wall of energy. Oh, that was rude. I was in the middle of talking.
Please.
You
It would have
know,
been very nice if you stopped talking.
well, that's rude, isn't it? As you make another shot, bounces off this wall of magic.
Hmm.
You might as well just let me finish talking, because I'm not taking this down until you let me finish.
I keep shooting.
Dyron,
You're going to
Let's-
wait. Can you stop your idiot friend before they waste their entire quiver? I want this to be some form of a challenge.
Told the dad.
Dyron, please don't waste all your crossbow bolts.
I just say, bitch, shut the fuck up and get down here. What you don't have all day.
You're in what looks to be like a big town square. You see, like, behind him is a very large fountain with in the middle of the fountain is like a statue. As you look at the statue, you see a tiefling that looks very similar to Testament in a very regal pose, because of course he would be. And you see several soldiers like around that are just training their bows, and some with like magic, and there's some soldiers as well with just melee weapons like ready to charge. You see, my friends, well, we're not really friends.
I cast Told the
No.
dad.
Can we just cast silence on him? Does anyone have silence?
So you cast Toll the Dead,
I
Felix,
happen to
make you
have
roll.
that spell.
Well, no, he's got
Actually,
to
wait,
roll.
do I
It's
still have
a
I do
saving
have it.
throw.
He passes.
Yeah.
Damn it.
What did he roll?
Nat 15. Plus his mods.
Please stop wasting your stuff on him before,
Oh, there's no waste with this.
Thank you. At least someone here. At least someone here has the etiquette to let me finish talking. And Akra actually raises a hand and just says, "Let him talk." Think of it this way: the more bragging he makes, the more embarrassing he's going to be when he's on the ground, arse in the air, looking like.
You know what? I
monster.
hadn't considered that.
Yeah, you gotta let the guy dig his own grave first.
Akra actually, you know what? He actually holds up his hands. Let us be prepared for you. And with the rain, he actually forms chairs of ice. 6 chairs for you all. Let's have a seat and watch
thanks.
him. Let's have a seat and watch him waste his time. And
My feet were starting to get a bit sore.
same. And so, as well, you don't all have to sit down, but Akra's sat down at least, and so's Rura.
Seamus will sit
Aldean
down.
also sits
And
down.
Baron.
It's like, fuck it. Someone get some popcorn.
Aldean pulls out
Testament's-
the popcorn
Testament
rations.
was about to keep talking, but his mouth's now left agape at what he's just watched. Anyway, you see,
No, go on. We'll wait.
when my father eventually absorbs Kurogane and gains his ultimate power, I'll be there alongside him, watching as the new era of this
Believe
world.
this guy. Can you fucking believe him?
Rura's like, honestly, this is quite entertaining. You'd think he would have been an actor in another life.
Or at the very least, he should have written a better speech. God.
Hey, he's an actor, not a playwright.
That's
You
true.
hear one of the guards say, "Hey, I wrote that speech."
Do better.
Hmm. You can see Testament's visibly starting to like seethe.
You know, if you survive this and you're not too much of a dick about it, maybe we can find you someone who can teach you how to write it just a little bit better.
I don't know, Felix. By the end of this, Rua says, as he's like sitting forward in the chair, I think I might want to get a tiefling, like a horn cup myself to match yours, like with the
Honestly,
saber.
he could be worth the gesture, though. Wouldn't it be so fun to see him wear like those jingly caps?
As you're like talking over Testament, he's like gritting his teeth.
Would you rather we just start fighting, or do you want us to keep riffing? Because, we're not going to stop.
We can turn this into a whole roast if you want. I mean, we got all day. I don't know about you.
By the time I'm done with you all, no one will remember you.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Yeah.
scary.
You
And
actually
see.
You see Akra begin to clap. There you go.
There's some intimidation. Good job. Good job.
Well, here's the thing, Testament. One thing I'm very good at is destroying monuments, and there's a nice, pretty-looking monument of you right there. And I'm sure there's more that I may just, whoopsie, accidentally blow up with a shatter spell.
When did
How
you
people
destroy...
gonna remember you
Oh,
then?
yeah, you destroyed those fancy monuments over in the clearing that may have unleashed a great evil upon this world. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Rua jumps
See,
in.
I've made my mistake and I'm owning it.
Rua jumps in. Oh god, you don't know the cover-up I had to do with the Church of Rybarb when they found out about that. Like, really? When they found out them pillars were destroyed? Oh my god, I had to tell them that a fucking rampaging beast came through the area.
Guys,
I mean,
you're ruining the
that's not even
gravitas of what I'm
inaccurate.
saying. Come on. Work with me here.
But yeah,
This is funnier, though.
and eventually Testament is just like, he's got a hand over his face as if like he's ready to scream.
You didn't want to start fighting.
See, this is one thing that our party does really well, is we're really good at trolling.
We're just heckling him.
Yeah, we're just heckling. We're just chirping.
Honestly, if it helps Testament, Rua then says, like, you were never in contention for, like, a threat. We've dealt with dragons, we've dealt with ogres, we've dealt with bone claws. We've dealt with a Bahia, we've dealt with all sorts of people. Heck, we spent 6 months with him and having him kick the shit out of us. He points to his granddad. Nothing you could do could even register on the scale.
Frankly, we're humoring you. You're beneath us.
Honestly,
So if you want to
given the lack
ramble
of a
on in
bulge
your
in
little
his-
speech,
honestly,
go
given the
ahead,
lack of
but
given the lack of a bulge in his pants, he'd probably rather be beneath.
That's
He seems
true.
like a bottom.
he does. And not a power bottom either, just a full-on, honestly, kind of a pillow princess looking type.
Bottom
Honestly,
of
Man, if
what?
that's the case, then Akuro Andrew's favorite move is not really going to be as effective.
Yeah, half of our abilities are just going to be ruined.
I know.
Honestly, I was going to make a joke saying testament, more like testicle, but damn, that doesn't even really work. There's no testicles to begin with, really.
Yeah, no.
And
Dairon's rolling perception to see if he has testicles.
I'll roll
Honestly?
insights.
honestly, yeah, his crotch plate is embarrassingly not very big.
Honestly,
I
2 out
want
of
insight
10.
how
Would
insight
not
how
vote.
mad he is right now.
Wait, guys. Seamus pulls out his lyre. I think I'm inspired. Oh, there once was a man named Testament who had very tiny balls. I know it all.
Uh-oh.
As you make your song, you all watch as Testament, because he actually pulls out a staff.
Actually, can I throw some vicious mockery at that too? Oh.
I'm gonna say he begins doing a thing, and he
Okay.
casts a spell, and
Counter
let me
spell.
check this. Yeah, give me a charisma check.
Just straight charisma?
Yeah, because you have to do a spell check because he's
Aw,
casting a high level
man.
spell.
And
Um,
any of y'all hear
I was
me?
hoping that would have been funnier.
So, as he casts the spell, let me see the spell he does. I need to check again. Because he has he's a pretty high level spellcaster. Nope, get rid of that. And let me see. What level was this again?
Oh, there we go.
Nope, go away, add. And what was it now? I'm trying to find the spell. That was it. So, as he casts a spell, you all begin to start coughing as you basically are surrounded by a poisonous fog.
I don't have to breathe.
Creatures are affected even if they hold their breath or don't need to breathe.
I have to make sure.
Can you not hear us at all, Jack?
Oh, no, I can hear you now. It was just...
Yeah. So yeah,
off for a short bit.
a poisonous fog bursts out, and yeah, even with your ability to hold your breath, Dairon, you still find yourself choking on the fog. And it's because he casts. You actually hear Akra say, "Cloud kill." And as that happens, this is where we're calling the session. It'll be next session when you see the map with Testament.
Fun
Okay.
times.
The thing is, this is going to be a big boss battle, and then there'll be the whole thing with getting to the Imperium, which is why I'm calling the session here.
Oh no, this is a great point. This is just us getting cocky for a sec, him trying to check us, but honestly, let's be real, it's probably not going to do too much to us in the long run. His little poison
not
cloud.
Not gonna lie, I was really worried that the session would be short, but then we just had a lot of fun roleplay.
Oh, that was good. I'm glad me and Ruo both decided just to go. Can you shut the fuck up?
It was fun.
I did love
heckling
that we
him.
got to roast Testament for a bit. I've been waiting to do that, because fuck that guy.
Yeah, Testament's not meant to be taken seriously. He's supposed to be a loser.
He's a punk ass bitch.
But yeah, that's the session. I hope you all had fun. I know I did.
I did.
Yeah, it was
and
fun.
that is the stream as well. So thank you everybody for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed. In terms of future stuff, I believe it's Tuesday or Thursday, Saturday, and of course D&D on Sunday. Please do give us a follow here on Twitch and all that YouTube stuff.
Like and subscribe, comment down below, press that bell icon, please.
And otherwise, hopefully you will join Fuzzy on the channel sometime next week. And good night.
Later.